You've known for many, many years as Grahamstown. The National Arts Festival is taking place there. Well, this tiny city of the Eastern Cape woke up to some surprising news today. Yeah, the name Grahamstown is no more. The City of Saints has been renamed and it'll be known henceforth as Makhanda. And the new name was gazetted today. Makhanda was a Xhosa warrior and a spiritual leader who fought against British colonization. He's credited with attempting to unite the Xhosa in their struggle against the British Empire. For more on this, we're now joined by Jayed-Leigh Paulse, who's in Makhanda at the festival, which will be renamed, I am sure. Jade, thanks very much. Tell us a little bit about this renaming of the city. Has it taken the city by surprise, or has this been a long time coming?
Thank you, Peter. Well, welcome to Makhanda, and it's not Wakanda like the movie, but I can tell you that, we were driving on our way to Grahamstown this afternoon when the news broke, and it was quite surprising because I think everyone thought that Grahamstown would be named Xhosa, and that was talks, after several years, and I think predominantly most of the residents and the visitors alike thought that that would be the name on the cards, but to our surprise and to many, it is now, the name that has been given Makhanda. But like you said, he was a warrior, he was a Xhosa warrior, and he fought in the frontier wars against the British. I don't think there's a lot that is written about him. As I was speaking to the historians at the Albany Museum here in Grahamstown, we were just having banter and we were discussing, the importance of actually acknowledging these Xhosa warriors, those that come from Mthatha, Mvezo, Qunu, as well as the Grahamstown area or Makhanda area, just to give them that recognition and also to give them that importance. Because at the end of the day, if you look at those wars, the British wars, the colonialism and all that happened in the Eastern Cape as far as Transvaal, you get a sense that people really want the towns in those areas to be named after people whom they've thought or fought in those wars. But to tell us more, we do have a historian. She is Xhosa and she's from the Albany Museum here in Grahamstown, and she's going to be unpacking who exactly this warrior was and telling us more about his history. Thank you for joining us this evening. So I'm sure you're quite shocked as well, but let's dive right into it. Who exactly was Makhanda?
Thank you, Jade. Makhanda, like you said, was one of the Xhosa chiefs, but what makes him exceptional, he was also imprisoned in Robben Island, like the likes of Chief Maqoma. And if you can remember well, Robben Island was also later on built as a prison that was used to imprison the political icons like the former late President Nelson Mandela. So Makhanda was one of those Xhosa chiefs that stood against the British impression on them, and he stood for his people, and he fought against those wars. He played a role in the Battle of Grahamstown, which was in April 1819. Next year we will be commemorating, it will be 200 years since that battle. So Makhanda played a role in that battle. He led his people in what he believed, and he led his people towards freedom. And if you can look later on and look at Makhanda and Nelson Mandela, they stood for the freedom of their people. So Makhanda is relevant in Grahamstown, and the town being named after him is actually bringing back that confidence upon his people, that although he's dead, but his name will we will remember him and remember the works that he has done for the liberation of his people.
And I think many people are also asking, or rather are confused with regards to Makhanda and Makhana municipality. Can you just break that down for us?
Okay, I think part of our history, so many of our Xhosa chiefs' names were then changed by the British because they couldn't pronounce them. So in this case of Makhanda, it's the same case. They could not pronounce Makhanda, and his name then was turned to Makhana.
Okay, and I'm just looking at that beautiful sunset behind you, and I think it's truly symbolic with the fact that tomorrow is going to be a new dawn. People are going to be waking up with the fact that this small sleepy town is now called Makhanda. Have you spoken to some of the people, and how have they taken to this new name, working at the museum and having those people come in, looking at some of the artifacts and some of the historical stories about Makhanda?
I think the town now being named after Makhanda will bring new light to the people of Grahamstown. And also, the government at the moment is busy with transformation project. So this town being named after Makhanda will then also speak of the history that is not told, because our history books are not really portraying our warriors for their bravery. So the town being named Makhanda will get people asking questions: who is Makhanda? Why is it named after Makhanda? So it will get people talking, and conversations will start from today. And I have confidence that now, even generations to come, they will hear the stories of Makhanda. Those stories will not die, but those stories will be stories that they will get to hear them from now on.
Thank you very much. And I think it's quite symbolic as well, with just, touching on the fact that there are so many Xhosa chiefs that have gone unrecognized. So this is actually paying homage to those individuals. So there you have it, Peter. A lot of excitement here in Grahamstown, or Makhanda. And I can also tell you that the Arts Festival is in full swing. I've also spoken to some of the organizers, and they are actually very excited about this. As you know, some of the people regard the National Arts Festival as the Grahamstown Arts Festival, but now it will be the Makhanda National Arts Festival. It's back to you in studio.
Jayed-Leigh Paulse, thanks very much indeed. And I know it can get a bit chilly in that part of the world, but they'll be warmed up with this news. And this has been a journey that's been running for more than 20 years to change the name of Grahamstown. And giving you a bit more background, Grahamstown was named after Colonel John Graham. And he was renowned in history as one of the most brutal and most vicious of the British commanders on the frontier. And that's why so many people felt so strongly about getting the name changed. And recently, the Arts and Culture Minister, Nadim Tetwa, said that the Truth and Reconciliation Committee was what recommended the renaming of geographic features, and as a form of symbolic reparation, and no more so than this part of the world, which is now known as Makhanda, as Jayed-Leigh was saying. And his other name, of course, was Xhosa, and that's why you might have seen that name on some of those visuals just now. So when you go to the National Arts Festival in future, you will be looking up on your Google Maps Makhanda. Otherwise, you're going to get lost. We're going to take a quick break.